All right, we're live. Welcome to another edition of Not Mainstream, October 12th, 2018. And boy, do we got some news to talk about. But first, let me put on my Superman cape.
I'm loving that MAGA hat. Yeah.
This thing's going to be a permanent fixture for Not Mainstream.
All right. Sweet.
So, let's get
down
down into this Superman cape because just yesterday, Kanye West met with President Donald J. Trump, and by golly, that was an epic meeting between the two.
Yep.
With every MFing word, every bullshit letter that came out of his mouth, man, it was great from the start. I wish we could have watched the whole lunch they had. I thought that was just great.
Well, Kanye went to see Trump sometime back when, before he started.
I think it was like when he was president-elect.
I don't know if it was then or shortly after he got elected, but I know Kanye has been to visit Trump before he started pulling for Trump or, backing Trump. So even when Kanye was kind of on the other side, he went and he acted decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to say, I am absolutely shocked that someone that big like Kanye is a huge Trump fan, and he's pulling for him. I got to admit, I was skeptical at first, but I actually believe that he's a real Trump supporter. Compare and contrast that to Taylor Swift, because there was
Lord.
So Taylor Swift came out to endorse Marsha Blackburn's opponent, and Philip
Bredesen.
Bredesen, yeah. In a long, agonizing Instagram post. However, I think that kind of felt backward because there's some Project Veritas video out of his campaign staff basically calling the people of Tennessee dumbasses because, he's lying to get votes and that he would never voted for Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I got to say that Marsha Blackburn is leading in the polls from what I've seen on Twitter.
And she, much like our senators here in Mississippi, supports Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He supports the president. Much like Cindy Hyde Smith and Roger Wicker here in Mississippi. So, well, I have to say, I'll say this, is that I never thought we'd see the day when we'd actually be supporting Kanye West over Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I even made a Facebook post about it. I was like, Kanye West is smarter than Taylor Swift. I was shocked. When Kanye first came out, I could not stand the dude. Now I'm all in. I'm like, Kanye 2024. I mean, geez, that'd be great.
But Kanye faced a lot of backlash from leftists because if you're black, you don't dare step off the plantation. Yeah.
I gotta say that CNN did the most racist thing possible with Don Lemon and three other people calling him
terrible.
Yeah, they called basically Kanye borderline the N-word. They call him the token Negro, and he doesn't know how to read and all that racist nonsense, which blew me away. And I posted on Twitter that Kanye is the first black guy to expose how racist the mainstream media is, to expose how racist the leftist is.
Well, no, he's not the first black guy, but he's the first California big money, celebrity because
Mhm.
you know we Alan West and um, God, I just saw a whole list of them today, and all men that I very well respect, black men that have said, "Open your eyes," that this is the first celebrity
Mhm.
Well, you have people like
of
Alan West.
his magnitude.
Mhm.
Well, you have people like Alan West and well, I'll just say former politicians, J.C. Watts. Lynn Swan was even a politician at one time. He was former
Uh,
Pittsburgh Steelers player, and
Scott
he,
in South
Herschel Walker.
oh no, not Scott Walker.
Herschel.
What's his?
Um,
No, no,
I was
no.
talking about Tim Scott.
Tim Scott. Thank you, Tim
Yeah.
Scott. Yeah, that's another one.
Yep,
Also,
I like him.
I mentioned J.C. Watts.
Yep,
Who else? Mia Love before she became a Never Trumper.
Mhm.
yeah, Mia
There,
Love. I always like Mia Love.
there was another one, and I'm trying to remember what his name was. Um, I may have just named all the major ones. So.
Mhm.
Well, a lot more black people are seeing the light
Yeah.
and realizing what the Democrats have been doing and screwing them over. And I'm glad because anyway, the Democrats have been holding them down, and they can get up and they can
Oh,
and,
Alan
and
Keyes.
be
Alan Keyes is
super.
another one. Alan Keyes. That's
Alan
another one.
Key, yeah, he's
Yeah,
another.
Alan Keyes. Yep, him too. Yep.
I mean, I want everybody to do well,
Mhm.
and the Democrats have been. Well, anyway, okay, move on.
I suspect, and he really the one celebrity that I suspect may be a closet conservative who's black is Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because we haven't heard anything from Denzel.
Yeah,
He usually keeps to himself and everything.
He does, yeah. And I've always liked his acting. I've been a big fan of
Mhm.
his acting
uh,
for years.
well, a lot of people, all of us, especially somebody like Denzel, who is in the midst of the liberals. If you are a Republican, you just don't tell nobody. You just vote how you
Yeah.
want to vote and get along,
Mhm.
with the rest.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah,
I'm
when last, yeah, I guess it was last year at the Golden Globes when Meryl Streep was up there making a fool of herself. He was essentially just kind of he was kind of stone faced a little bit when he was
Mhm.
listening to her.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he
And,
didn't really.
Vince Vaughn, I saw pictures of Vince Vaughn too, kind of, rolling his eyes.
Yeah, Vince
Then,
Vaughn's Republican.
well, Denzel didn't react. He didn't applaud. He didn't do anything. He just kind of sat there and listened.
Hmm.
And I mean, Denzel's been asked about his political opinion. He says, I really don't get. He says, I really don't get political. I don't say very much. I don't come out as being political on either side. He does admit he voted for Barack Obama the first time. I don't know if he voted for him the second time. He admits he voted for Barack Obama the first time.
Hmm.
But he's been very quiet about his politics since then.
Yeah.
So he may be, at the very least, a libertarian who leans
Yeah.
conservative.
Hmm.
There are a lot of people in Hollywood who are conservative that you wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim Brown was with Kanye at the
Oh yeah,
White
Jim
House.
Brown. That's another one who's
Yeah.
conservative. Yeah, Jim Brown, former football player, actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and geez, I mean, the media just went haywire over the whole lunch summit, or the whole Kanye West going to the White House, which, you know, was nothing surprising. I mean, they called him everything from an Uncle Tom to a coon. That's how racist the mainstream media is. And they kept on saying, well, you know, he's mentally ill, Kanye is, and that he needs to learn how to read and all this other racist stuff. And I'm like, okay, hold on. First off, you don't have
stuff.
you don't have any qualifications to judge that Kanye West is mentally ill. And second off, you know, you complain about racism and everything, and you're the guys that's spewing the racism out of your mouth when you bash Kanye West for visiting Trump. I mean, come on, give me a break here, people.
I know. I agree.
Let's see here. I think, Henry, if you can hear us, you froze up on us. Let's see here. Let's continue. So yeah, I thought the whole Trump Kanye thing was great. It did what it needed to do, which was to put another dagger in the mainstream media and their narrative. And he actually Kanye called him out on it and said that you guys are the one that's exposed the whole racism and everything, which I thought that was great. There needs to be more Kanye at the White House. I think what Trump needs to do is, help get Kanye on and help with what's going on in Chicago. I think that would be just boom, blown out of the water. Mainstream media would be absolutely in tears if Donald Trump did that.
There's about 5 of the largest cities in the United States run by Democrats that are just falling to pieces, dead zones.
Yeah.
You know, nothing but drugs and killing and shooting and killing youngins, killing each other. And these are the Democratic run cities that have the biggest gun control.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I agree. If Kanye can do anything with Trump, with, you know what, I wonder, the Kardashian girls are all so liberal and hip. And Kanye was too. Now Kanye's turned his coin. I wonder if Kim will become a Republican too, so she can go to the White House with him.
Kim already went to the White House. Kim went to the White House twice.
You know, I mean, I know the Kardashian girls aren't ones to get up and be big mouthed all the time. Maybe once in a while, but I wonder if she's going, because they're all, the rest of them are liberal as hell.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Sorry,
Bruce was and is a Republican.
Yeah.
Okay.
Republican.
Yeah, I was just going to say, my phone decided to restart itself for some reason.
Oh, that's weird. Interesting.
What was I talking about before?
Kanye and the mainstream media and the celebrities.
Well, I was talking about something. I can't remember what it was.
I've got 7 cigarettes and 3 dead cigarette lighters.
Well,
it's a bad day. It's a good day.
Henry, you was mentioning about celebrities and some of the conservative celebrities that's kind of closeted and they're afraid to come out per se because of the whole blackballed backlash they'll receive.
I mean, well, of course, I don't think they'll blackball Kanye. I was talking about Jim Brown. I think
Yeah.
Jim Brown. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
who's going to argue with Jim Brown? The dude's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, and before you left or before you came on, I was telling Lel what Trump needs to do is invite Kanye back to help with Chicago and some of these other cities that's under basically Democratic watch and that needs really helped out. And I think Kanye and Trump could be really excelled at the fact of trying to kind of stop of what's happening in Chicago. And Kanye actually brought up a good point. Hell has frozen over because I said that. He brought up a good point and said that illegal guns are the problem and not legal guns, and that we do have the right to bear arms. Oh my God!
Wow! And it is
Yeah.
illegal guns.
Mm-hmm.
But that's part of that democratic tick, 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 been going on since the 50s and 60s, if not before.
Yeah.
It is the illegal guns,
Mm-hmm.
which past presidents have just dumped in here hard as they could go from foreign countries. Okay, I have a topic.
All right.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I might be able to go roll back through my Facebook feed and find it, but did y'all see, today was the first time I had seen it on Facebook. So I don't know exactly when it was posted to start with, but it wasn't. I don't think it's some 5-year-old thing. I think this was new. And there were people coming in and out. It's all on video. Somebody, of course, videoed it with their phone. People coming in and out of like a grocery store. And there was this black family, seemed to be decent people, just you had their little youngins and were just going out. And this white woman freaked out and said that their 9-year-old son had groped her and called the police.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was going. To be honest with you, I was going to bring that up, and I'm glad you brought that up because I saw this on Twitter. So what happened was this woman was leaning over the counter, and the woman's son, not the woman that's leaning over the counter, but the black woman's son, who's 9, was walking across, and he had a backpack on, and he brushed her with her backpack, and she's 100% liberal. No doubt about it. No doubt in my mind. Racist liberal, I guess you want to call it. But she freaked out and said that the 9-year-old sexually assaulted her. Yeah, she said that the 9-year-old grabbed her ass. And they showed the clip of the security cam footage. And it debunks her whole story. She's still standing by that the 9-year-old assaulted her. And she was actually outside of the shop screaming at the kids and screaming at the mom and said, "Your son assaulted me. Your son sexually assaulted me." She's on the phone crying to the cops. And she also said, "I'm a cop. I'm a cop." She was interviewed by the local news. She said, "I didn't say I was a cop." And they showed the footage of her saying that she was a cop.
I didn't see that.
How insane are these people?
Well, if the video shows something completely different from what she is claiming,
it does.
Then, if it sounds like it does, then guess what, lady? You weren't groped. It was an accident. The kid accidentally brushed you with his backpack.
That's
sometimes if you brush past somebody, you may accidentally bump them in a certain place. You may accidentally, brush past them in a certain place. It happens.
this other woman outside figured out what was going on and got in the woman's face and said, "What are you doing accusing this 9-year-old child? You should be ashamed, blah, blah, blah." And even like the dude was like, ma'am, just stop right there. There's no need. You're just pushing a dead horse. He didn't say that, but you know, there's no need to make it, you know, you're just escalating it. Calm down, back up, just forget her. She's loony. And that woman, I was shocked myself. I thought, wow, you have balls bigger.
So yeah. So now we have 9-year-olds that are sexually abusing women.
Hopefully that kid doesn't try to run for Supreme Court because that won't be out. He sexually assaulted me when he was 9 years old.
When I was he was 9, and the little boy was crying.
And he was with his sister too, and she was screaming at him and her sister, and they were both in tears. If I was that mom, if I was that kid's mom, I would have whipped her ass. I would have whipped that woman's ass.
I know.
Be like, look who sexually assault you now, bitch. Whip her ass.
Apparently, the mom of the kids was a bigger person and more decent person.
Oh yeah, I saw that in that video.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just getting. Yeah, see, now it's getting more ridiculous, and I mean, all these supposed sexual abuse claims. I was sexually harassed. You know, this all started with the whole Clarence Thomas thing and Anita Hill making the accusations, but she could not back up. And
Clarence Thomas. That was a big damn pile of crap. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. And it seems like if you are a conservative in America, and there is an allegation brought against you, guess what? You're guilty to proven innocent. It's not the other way around.
Yeah.
Clarence Thomas was. They believed her right off, and to hell with anything he had to say about it. He was right, he was wrong, and he got, you know, so did Domino's, not Domino's. What he run for president, I liked so well. The preacher.
Herman Cain.
Herman Cain. He was. What was it? Not Papa John's. What was it? Godfather's. Thank you, Shane. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Godfather's Pizza. Yeah. Well, what happened was these women came forward with Herman Cain, claimed that they were sexually harassed by him, and
go ahead.
He dropped out of the race, and then as soon as he dropped out of the race, they disappeared.
Yeah, just like with Ford, she's not even going to press charges now. She's gone.
Right.
She took the money and run.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, look how much money she was raising with her GoFundMe campaign.
But just like with the women in Roy Moore, you know, they took the money and ran.
Oh yeah.
But Herman Cain, he needs to run again. I think he would be. I think he would be good.
I think one of the main common. There's one axiom I think everybody should follow. If a bunch of women release a bunch of allegations that are represented by Gloria Allred, automatically they're lying.
Yeah, because I don't trust Gloria Allred at all.
No, nope. Or Lisa Bloom.
No.
Yeah, her daughter.
Lisa Bloom. Yeah.
if they've got Gloria Aldridge, I agree 100%. Lying, fake, fraud, you name it.
Yeah,
She's after it.
The ambulance chaser.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the women who were suing
Exactly.
Herman, the women who were pursuing Herman Cain were represented by Gloria Allred. The women who were going after Cosby, some of the women that were going after Cosby were represented by Gloria Allred. That's not to say that Cosby was an angel. I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve what he's getting. What I am saying is that
there's no need to wait that damn long.
no. What I am saying is that I don't think Bill Cosby did anything to many of those women.
Yeah, I say, let's say, I think over 40 came out. I'd say probably maybe half he probably did something to.
Yeah, right.
You know, but even with us poor folk, country folk, whatever, that thing kind of happens sometimes. I got, you know, I was, what do you call, date raped or whatever, a time or two when I was younger, where I wanted to go home, but I'm not going to take you home. And I would say, if you're that, not that I wasn't very upset about it, and that I still remember, but if you're that damn then go to the police.
Yeah.
I chose not to go to the police, and that's what I chose, and I live with it, and it's okay. I got over it. They grew up, married women, and had youngins, and so did I, and it just wasn't worth it. I wasn't beat the hell out of or anything. And I think that makes a big difference too. But if you're going to say something, go ahead and say something. I do think there needs to be a time limit, whatever you call it.
Statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations. In 10 years that you want to press charges, then shut up.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
you know.
Some women, some women, they choose to call the police, some don't. I mean, Lael, you chose not to. You made the decision. But then again, you didn't come out 30 years later and say, oh, this person raped me or whatever.
Exactly. But, and I said jokingly to a friend a while back, we were talking about it, I said, I'm pretty sure neither of them are going to run for Senate.
Right, yeah.
You know, they're doing.
If they do, Gloria is going to call you up. Hey, Lael. Hey, Mrs. Lael. We need you to come and put allegations to
they're local people, and in the country, they didn't physically hurt me, beat me up or anything. And in the country in the 80s, you don't want to stir that shit in the community. You know.
Yeah, especially like a small town like where we're at. You know, word gets around.
Yeah. And if you go to the courthouse and, you know, then everybody in the neighborhood, everybody will know.
Yeah.
And but like I said, if I had been beaten up too or something, I just chose to go with it and get the hell home as quick as I could.
Yeah, and as I said, some women will choose to report it, some won't.
Yeah.
And these weren't, it wasn't a stranger that snatched me off into the woods either. It was people I knew that snatched me off into the woods. Anyway, okay, so we think we need a statute of limitations.
What was that you was gonna say, Henry?
Well, I was just going to say, you know, some women will choose to report it and some won't. And
Exactly.
it depends on, you know, do they? I think, and I don't want to speak for you, Leo, but this could be a case of these women don't want to have that reputation in the community. Oh, she got raped. She must have asked for it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that is another factor of it. Too, you know, everything in the world goes through your head, and you're mad and you're pissed off, you know, and you tell a girlfriend or two about it and swear them to secrecy, and you just go on.
Yeah.
Not that it doesn't bother you, but you just push through it and go on, or that's what I did. But like I said, I just, it wasn't, I didn't get beat the hell out of or anything, and I think that would make a big damn difference.
And plus, women has got to realize that you do have the right to bear arms. I mean, if you think you're going to get raped or something, you know, carry a gun with you, carry protection with you. That's why we have the Second Amendment.
Yeah, but not high school girls can't do that really, but grown-up women can, college women can. You know.
Yeah. But,
I think for me, the basic thing was it's 9 miles to home and it's 11 o'clock at night. Do I want to walk by myself in the country 9 miles? You know, it's I mean, there's so many things. Okay, let's move on to something else. And
well, this whole Me Too movement, you know, has really become a joke. Because it's mostly leftist women who are making these claims.
Yeah, what is the Me Too? Is that where they were unified against Kavanaugh, or
the Me Too movement?
Me Too's been around since
Hollywood.
2006.
Started in Hollywood because of Harvey Weinstein, and so you know the left latched onto that so that they can, you know, advance their narrative of all men are bad and all men are rapists and all that. And the thing is that Harvey Weinstein, I think I read somewhere that the charges that he was brought onto him has been dropped. I mean,
I think I heard that too. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, Harvey Weinstein wins dismissal of one criminal charge, one of the 6 that has been brought onto him. So he's got 5 more.
Okay, good.
Well, I saw where Rose McGowan was kind of poo-pooing the whole Me Too movement. So, I mean, she's not like Alyssa Milano, who is, you must believe women.
Me Too is the liberals thing. I've seen it a lot, but I haven't. Another one, my God. They keep coming up with different groups and names of groups and
Yeah.
groups and initials and names of groups. And I, what in the heck?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I say, Alyssa Milano has been kind of spearheading some of this recently as well. I mean, she was one of the ones that was making a fool of herself
Yeah,
with
the
the
Kavanaugh
Kavanaugh
hearing.
thing.
Yeah.
And of course,
She was back. Yeah.
Amy Schumer as well, who, you know, they inside the building. She gets caught on video. They said, "You want to be arrested?" She said, "Yeah." So they accommodated her. They arrested her.
Yeah, she got arrested. And I think we talked about this last week about the protesters getting paid to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, and speaking of Kavanaugh, he was sworn in, I think, Monday. So he's on the justice. He's Justice Judge Kavanaugh, so which is great. Let's cross our fingers and hope that Ruth Bader Ginsburg is next.
Oh, to be replaced.
To be replaced, yes.
Don't wish her any ill whatsoever.
No, we do not.
No, we do not.
No.
We just want her to be replaced.
Ruth Ginsburg is next to be replaced. Again, we got to make that clear because people will take this out of context.
Yes.
Speaking of going back a little bit, speaking about Bill Cosby, his lawyers is trying to appeal his sentencing.
Yeah.
So we gotta have to wait and see where that's going to go.
I always loved Bill Cosby. I love the Cosby Show. And he could have done it. He very well could have done it. Lots of young men who all of a sudden make it in the business and they've been poor as dirt their whole lives and they've got money and cars and blah, blah, blah. He very well could have done it. Lots of people have done it. And if he did it, he needs to be he needs to do his time for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm back to what are these women after? Do they want to get a cut of his money before he dies? And it gets split up between all the youngins and grand youngins. What what was their reason for jumping on this now? If they hadn't all these years. But if he did it, he needs to do his time.
Yeah.
He may have. I don't know. What were you saying about Bill Cosby, Shane? That I interrupted?
Oh no, that was pretty much it about his lawyers trying to fight a appeal for his conviction and try and get a smaller sentence. And like I said, we're just gonna have to wait and see how that pans out. Let's continue on with some news, and this is kind of sci-fi news, and this is uploaded by express.co.uk. And we was discussing this, me, Lyle, and Nick. Was discussing this when Henry left us Wednesday night, but that's all right. And we're gonna go further into this because I found the YouTube channel, and we're gonna take a look at some of their videos on Real or Not Real. So this dude who claims to be a time traveler, his name is Noah, claims to be visiting 2018 from 2030. And he knows who will be president in the next election in 2020 and again in 2030.
Oh, I heard.
speaking in a video uploaded to conspiracy theory YouTube channel Apex TV. That's where we're going to take a look at some of the videos Wednesday night for real or not real. He said, "I will tell you some future events for the United States of America. The next president will be Donald Trump. This is a fact from the future. I'm not here to influence anybody's political opinion. The next election will be in 2020, meaning that if Trump wins, he will serve until 2024. Yeah, you don't have to be a time traveler to predict that Trump is going to win in 2020. I mean, it's just a given. So, yeah. He continues on and says that he knows who's going to be president for more than a decade from now in 2030. Noah said that there'd be a new president, Yolanda Renee King, and she is the granddaughter of Martin Luther King. She's 10 at this point. However, when she becomes president, there's going to be a new law in place that she's going to be 21 when she's sworn into office.
Wow.
So
I think I read that part too. I think I read that whole article, and I don't always read the whole thing. Oh, I got one here.
So
I'm sending you something, Shane.
So what do you guys make of this?
Well, I'll tell you what, if this guy has actually found a way to travel through time, it's interesting, but you would think that he would, you would think that he would not say, well, if Donald Trump wins, you know, would he know? Would he not know? Did he not go to 2020 and realize, oh yeah, he did win?
I thought he said Donald Trump would be elected in 2020.
Yeah, he said the next president will be Donald J. Trump. In the article, they said meaning that if Trump wins.
Oh, you were quoting. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Never mind.
We clear that up. And then he said there will be a new president, Yolanda Renee King, the 10-year-old granddaughter of Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Well, we know, and we've talked about it before. We couldn't remember her. Aretha King?
Alveda. Yeah.
She's Republican. If she gets her hands on that young and erases her. That could be a great thing. And there's enough time that'll pass in between that America could change, a lot. And she'd be the best thing for us. Have to wait and see.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Does time travel exist? Is the government keeping time traveling secret? Possibly. I mean, it's a huge possibility. But is this dude correct in that Donald Trump? Well, I think it's pretty much of a given that Donald Trump will probably win in 2020. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be shocked at all if he does win. I'll be shocked if he lost, but I wouldn't be shocked if he does win. But the whole, there's going to be a new law in place to allow younger people, become president at a younger age. That's kind of pushing it, because I don't foresee there to be any new law in place for a new law stating that anyone over 21 can be president. It's kind of pushing that for me.
Hey, Nikki.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Nick.
Well, isn't the current law for the current?
You got to be at least 35.
Wait, there you go. The current qualifications. You have to be 35, and you have to be a citizen of this country.
Yeah.
You have to have at least lived in the same state for what, 5 years, 10 years, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So there you go. Now, they would have to change it if the young lady is going to be 21
Mm-hmm.
in 2030, then she would, they would have to change the law somehow.
Yeah. And plus, that's in the Constitution, I believe. So they're going to have to put an amendment in the Constitution saying that anyone that's at least 21 can be president, changing the age.
The more I think about it, that is a little closer time than I was thinking before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I agree. 21 is just too young. 30 at least,
Mm-hmm.
I would say. But still, I still stand by my. Now we'll all have to wait and see. But if her aunt and the family raised her right, she could be at some time
Mm-hmm.
a great president. We don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the time span's a little. I agree with. Yeah.
Yeah, that's but if time travel has been invented,
Oh yeah.
then why has this discovery been hidden from the general public?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: if this dude traveled through time, I wouldn't be asking questions of who's going to be the next president. I'm going to be like, dude, how the hell did you travel through time? What's going on? This is like revolutionary stuff here.
Yep.
Nikki, what do you think? We discussed the article Wednesday about the time traveler.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I guess anything's possible to have a time traveler if you're looking at the future because of the way
Put
technology
your mic
is.
down by your mouth.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
If I mean, if you're looking at the future and how science exponentially keeps getting more, we kept getting technologically savvy and stuff. What, who's to say what in the year, 2500s or 3000, what we're going to be capable of. So, and I know there's a lot of arguments that we're just one line in many, of different possibilities of this time. I know there's been that argument. It's kind of over my head on how that can happen, but I know it's out there, and I know they argue and debate about it all the time. So I didn't get a chance to read everything what you sent or anything. I don't know if I got something, but I know I had read about it before.
Yeah, and I actually found their YouTube page. It's called Apex TV, and we're going to actually take a look at their videos Wednesday night.
Okay.
And see if they're real or not real.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very unknown, the future, what the future holds, scientifically speaking,
I know the exact quote to go here. We have no idea how much we don't know.
Right. That's totally right.
Yeah. We have no clue as to how much we don't know.
Yeah. To me that makes sense, because I think we're always learning. We're always going ahead, We very rarely go backwards. There are a few occasions where maybe, like, say, the whole space program went backwards a little bit, but that had to do, I believe that didn't have to do with our smarts or our science. I think it had to do with our politics and our money and our finances, so I mean, there's always going to be a struggle with stuff like that. Some people aren't going to want to know or they don't want tech stuff to go on.
Well, some people just don't want to know, don't care to know. They live their life, they're happy, and they die, and and then they may see the other side or whatever. But there's so much that we just don't know.
Yeah.
And we'll find out either sometime while we're living or after we're dead. But
What brought that up on the political?
Well, he predicted that Trump is going to win in 2020, and the whole Yaveda King is going to be the youngest president at 21 in the year 2030.
Right.
Let's go back to Wacky Hollywood, because this is from the Hollywood Reporter, and they do their top 100 list. Only 3 members on their list donated to the GOP, and one of them is actually surprising to me, given the content that he delivers every Saturday night. Saturday Night Live creator Lorne Michaels donated to GOP. He donated to Susan Collins.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Warner Media CEO John Stankey, he donated to, let me see here, Marsha Blackburn, and he gave 2,000 to both Tennessee Republican Senate candidate Marsha Blackburn and the National Republican Congressional Committee. And Viacom CEO Bob Bakish gave 1,500 to Georgia Senator Johnny Iskinson, 1,000 to Mitch McConnell. The rest of them were all DNC. Bill Maher, and Netflix CEO Reed Hastings, Harry Emanuel, Patrick Whitesell, all of them donated to DNC.
Oh, there you go.
I'm shocked that Lorne Michaels donated to the GOP, given the content that he delivers every week on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
But don't a lot of the really rich people give some to both sides?
That's what I was going to say.
That's possible.
We just don't hear about how much, usually for the DNC, because I bet you it's a lot more.
Yeah. Well, Bill Maher gave $1 million to some campaign. Yeah. And the Netflix CEO did $500,000.
Did you get the message I sent you, Shane?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see what it said?
Yeah.
The headline?
Yeah.
What a pile of crap.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to it.
Well, what I was going to say was, the Susan Collins, she gave that impassioned speech about Brett Kavanaugh. But then she goes on one of the morning shows on Sunday and says that he crossed the line. So that shows right there you cannot trust her whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't trust her either. I mean, she did give a good speech. I applaud her for that. But she's still a neocon, a rhino.
Yeah, she has not changed. A leopard never changes its spots. So
yeah.
And she decided, well, these CEOs, they essentially they donate to whoever they deem to be someone who they feel represents them most and highest politically. I mean, look at Trump. He donated to Democratic candidates for a long time.
Yeah. Well, he donated to both parties, Democrat and Republican.
I was just going to say, yeah, he also donated to
the Republicans too. He donated on both sides.
Mm-hmm. He donated to both sides. That's true. He did. So he knows how each side operates because he donated to both sides.
Yeah.
And that is one reason of the many that we voted for him.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he was getting into.
And he knew a lot about it. Who buttered whose bread on whose side, and he was already kind of in that game. And he knew how China did business and Japan did business and Australia did business. He had done business in damn near every country in the world, and he knew how to work with them to get your way. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Let's see here. Speaking of more Hollywood news, I'm going to debut a new segment here called No Shit Sherlock. No Shit Sherlock News, ABC executives regret firing Roseanne. Fear of Connor's spinoff
Who would have
series will
thought?
flop. This is from Breitbart, and I'll read the article to you guys. Executives at ABC now believe their decision to fire Roseanne Barr from the revival of Roseanne was a mistake, and according to the network's spinoff series, The Connors may flop, according to a report from Mail Online. Two senior executives at the network told the outlet that ABC President Channing Dungary decision to immediately fire the actress and cancel her show after she made the racially charged comments about former Obama advisor Valerie Jarrett was a knee-jerk decision that they would later regret. They quote, he says, "We didn't think it through properly. What Roseanne did was wrong, but we shouldn't have rushed to fire her." It was almost a knee-jerk reaction by Ben Sherwood and Channing Dungary, who should have launched an investigation. One insider reportedly said, "This would have given them more time to listen to the public, advisors, and cast members to best determine the decision." If you guys remember, Barr compared Jarrett to if the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby. The comments that were condemned by Dungary as aberrant, repugnant, and inconsistent with our values. Yet, one insider apparently suggests that ABC should have instead temporarily suspended her before making a final decision. They could have at least suspended her from the first few episodes without pay and had her return later on in the season, the source explained. I mean, the season finale saw Roseanne going to the hospital for knee surgery. While they worked out her fate, her character could have faced some serious complications and fought for her life, while simultaneously making Roseanne fight for her career with a national apology tour. The morning the racist tweet scandal blew up, Roseanne offered to publicly apologize and do the rounds of every show, but Ben and Channing weren't having any of that and wanted her gone. They continued, "Why not have her front a PSA for the network on racism and cyberbullying?" Since Barr's firing, the network has produced it, The Connors, a spinoff of Roseanne that premieres next week. However, another senior insider revealed to Mail Online that internal fears are that the new show will flop because people's loyalty to Barr and her character. When we greenlit The Connors, we thought that the public would tune in to see the family return, but when we discovered is that the people want Roseanne. They don't want the family by themselves, they explain. Again, no shit, Sherlock. The marketing and publicity teams are horrified, as no matter what promotional material is released, and let's be honest, it's been limited for a show that launches next Tuesday, Roseanne's fans come out in force stating that they won't watch the show. The comments on social media tend to skew in favor of Roseanne and slam the Connors and the cast members who came back, they added. Even dedicated fans of the Connor family feel conflicted about supporting a show that so swiftly eliminated the show's matriarch and creator. Last month, Barr revealed that the network plans to kill off her character with an opioid overdose after her character ended last season, revealing an addiction to painkillers. The same source added that some figures within the company believe the show will attract less than a quarter of viewership of Roseanne, a scenario that will leave Dungaree with many questions to answer. In the end, the ratings is all that matters. And there are many people at Disney and ABC who are worried that Fire and Roseanne will see their Tuesday night ratings drop substantially. They continued, and should the Connors flop, Shannon and her team will have many questions to answer. The whisper across ABC that there would not be even a quarter of what Roseanne achieved last season. Again, no shit. In July, Barr accused of ABC of firing her because of her support of Donald Trump in the 2016 presidential election, a position she said that was not allowed in Hollywood. So yeah, with this whole big, I didn't even know the thing was going to premiere next week. That's how low key ABC is trying to promote this show, that they want to really soar, but it's going to flop. I got to agree with ABC and these inside executives of this one. The show is definitely going to flop because Roseanne isn't on the show. I mean, that's why the people watch the show, because Roseanne, her name's in the title. It's not Roseanne and Family. It's Roseanne. And I agree they should have maybe suspended her for a few seasons. Instead of, killing her off, they should have made her, like, if, they're going to go the route of the whole opioid and she's addicted to painkillers, punt her off screen and rehab somewhere. And then bring her back. That's what they should have done, but they didn't do it.
There is a bit of a moral victory because they have put Roseanne back on TV Land and also I think on CMT.
Yeah, I think so.
So those who were missing their Roseanne fix, they can at least get it through that. But ABC realizes that they screwed the pooch. They know what they did.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely screwed the pooch. It's like you had the most popular show on your network, the highest rated show on your network, and you decide that because she makes a questionably racist comment, and I'm saying it's questionably because I'm not so sure it was all that racist, to be quite honest. But that's just me. But because she makes this but yet Samantha Bee can call the first daughter the C word, and nothing happens to her except she loses a few sponsors for a few weeks, and then she gets the sponsors back.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, where is the justice in that?
Yeah, what Samantha Bee was like 20 times worse than what Roseanne said, in my opinion.
Yeah, and why hasn't Don Lemon been fired from CNN for calling Kanye a token Negro?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah,
or I saw a clip.
Yeah, I mean they like went all races on Kanye. CNN did all races, from token Negro to coon to Uncle Tom. I mean everything that you can think of. I mean they wanted this close to say the N word, this bad. They wanted to say that N word really bad.
I mean, it's just disgusting, this stuff that's happening with all this.
Money.
Oh, yeah.
I loved and followed Roseanne for years. Now, I don't agree with everything she has said and done. For a long time, I loved Roseanne Connor, but I didn't know what I felt about Roseanne Barr. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The real person and the character, but I always loved the character, and I knew that the character was a lot of her.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she was born poor, raised poor, run over by a car.
Mm-hmm.
And then lived in a trailer park with 3 head of youngins and a husband, and poor as dirt in Iowa. And she said one time, she said, if you have always been rich, you will never worry about being poor. But if you're poor and you get rich, you will always worry about being poor again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as liberal and all out and wild as she went, I think in her heart she has always been conservative. And she's got enough damn money, and she's old enough that she don't give a shit anymore, and she's gonna say what she wants to say and do what she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's great. And if ABC wants that money, they're gonna have to put up with her. It's up to them if they want the money and the ratings,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. And to
not.
piggyback off of that, if I was Roseanne and if ABC came calling me back and said, we need you, I would turn her damn down. I'd be like, nope, you had your chance, you screwed it.
You're breaking up bad, Jane.
Nope.
No, he sounds fine here.
How about now?
He was breaking up to me. How about now?
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Okay, maybe it's better.
Great.
Yeah, better.
All right, so let's get into some campaigning news, because this is from Arizona, and Representative Kristen Stigma, Stimia, I don't know, Sinema, Sinmia, I guess, Kristen Sinmia, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, she said that Arizona is the meth lab of democracy, and she also said that that stay-at-home moms are sucking their husbands dry because they're stay-at-home moms, and that she says that Arizona is crazy. So she's bashing her constituents that's supposed to vote for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to see how that turns out.
Yeah. It's like, why are you bashing your own constituents?
Mm-hmm.
You want these people to vote for you.
So that means Martha McSally. Oh, I endorse. That's the person running against her. So yeah.
Well, there you go.
And that's the Senate seat that Flake is retiring from in Arizona.
Thank you.
So McSally all the way.
Yeah, I'm glad that Flake did not flake out as far as voting for Kavanaugh.
Yeah, I'm glad too. I was nervous. I thought he was going to pull a John McCain on us.
I looked up the voting record for that vote. I looked up the voting record, and it was essentially along party lines.
Yeah.
The only thing was the only Democrat that voted for Kavanaugh was Manchin.
Yeah.
Your boy there, Shane.
Yeah. Yeah, that's he's doing it for votes.
Yeah, he totally did it for his votes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Manchin was the only Democrat. It was mostly, but it was all Democrats that voted against, and a couple of independents. One of the independents was Sanders, and the other was somebody else. I can't remember. And
but didn't you notice that Manchin didn't put his vote in till after Collins put hers in, because he didn't want to be that deciding factor, dude.
What I was going to say was the only Republican senator that did not vote it was not. Well, Lisa Murkowski voted president. You know.
Yeah, she didn't vote for Kavanaugh at all.
The only
She
one that
did a
didn't vote.
solid.
The only one that didn't vote was the one from Montana, and it's because he was attending his daughter's wedding. So
And that's why she voted the president to cancel their votes out. Because that was a solid. She didn't have to do that.
Right.
And the president bashed her for it, and rightfully so. And she's like, "Well,
He did?
Yes.
Yeah, she got bashed for that because she didn't vote for Kavanaugh. She just voted president.
And she responded.
Go ahead.
And she responded. She responded to the president by saying, "Well, I think I know the constituents of Alaska better than he does."
I thought she was going to vote no.
No, but then they thought she might vote yes.
She was always going to be a no. She was always going to be a no as far as I knew.
I don't think
that's why the other guy, when he went to his wedding, to his daughter's wedding, she pulled her vote because it squashed their votes, a no and a yes.
Yeah, I don't think Murkowski was ever going to be a yes. And yeah.
Yeah. And Sarah Palin actually responded and said that she's may looking to run against her in 2020, which, by all means.
I'd love to have Sarah Palin back in the Senate.
Well, but I don't know if she can. I don't know if Sarah can run again. I thought Murkowski's seat was up in 2022. That's what I've heard.
It's one of those 2020s. It's probably in 2022.
Because I believe she was just reelected in 2016, according to Murkowski. Thing is, she was appointed by her father, who was the governor of Alaska. So she really didn't get into office honest, as it were. She was appointed. Yeah, she was appointed by her father. Now, she may have won the election the second time, or she may have actually won the election in 2016. But she really
it's 2022.
was. Yeah.
Palin responded and said, "I can see 2022 from the house."
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, Murkowski needs to go. She's part of the problem. She's a swamp creature. She's got to go.
Yeah, another person that needs to go, and Lel sent this, is Bill Nelson from Florida.
Yeah.
He's been busted. His candidate's hurricane relief link redirects to the Democratic fundraising page.
What?
So Florida Democrat running for the U.S. Senate was busted Thursday morning for apparently masquerading a Hurricane Michael donation link as a Democrat fundraising tool. Speaking of Nelson from Senate fundraising during the hurricane, this is interesting. The link, his campaign post to raise money for disaster relief efforts, takes you to Act Blue, the Democrats' fundraising engine. Building donor lists through hurricane relief contributions, Florida Senate, according to the Free Beacon Brent Share. Bill Nelson is fighting for his life to keep his seat against surging Florida Governor Rick Scott, Republican. Act Blue's mission statement is to empower small dollar donors. It is an independent software nonprofit that has been used to raise over $2 billion for Democrats and their cause since 2004.
He'd better hope that he doesn't get a visit from the IRS or something.
Yeah, that would be interesting. At the time of the article, Nelson deleted the tweet linking to Act Blue. His office did not respond for comment.
That is freaking fraud, is what that is.
Yeah.
That's fraud.
Right.
Nikki Freeze.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
That is just out and out, straight up fraud. Is what that is.
Yeah.
Shoosh, yeah, it is.
That ain't even, it doesn't deserve the nice word fraud. That is lying, scheming, cheating, and stealing.
Yeah.
Is he Eddie Guerrero now?
He lies, he cheats, he steals.
Yeah. But yeah.
So mad. I mean, you know, we had Hurricane Florence, and now Michael has passed over, and there are people with their houses blown apart, and
Oh
he's
yeah.
stealing this damn money that nice people, loving Christian people are giving,
Mhm.
and putting it in the damn Democratic fund shit.
Yeah, absolutely no words. No words to describe this. But we do have some good news. Hillary Clinton has finally lost her security clearance.
That was where I was wanting to go.
Good.
Yay!
We
Yeah,
got some
but
good news.
she is losing it. She made a comment. She said that basically she said, well, you know, we don't, all of us on this side of the aisle, we don't have to be civil to those conservatives.
Now here's the thing: just because she loses the security clearance, she's still on the inside. I mean, people still want to get
Yeah.
her information.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
but don't you know it just pissed her off?
Well, supposedly she asked to have it removed this summer, right?
I didn't hear about that.
I don't know.
That's the whole thing. This is she had it removed this summer, but the news didn't drop it, or the whoever dropped it didn't report it until right now. So the questions are, how come it didn't get released to the press and nobody was notified and it wasn't brought up anywhere? Because they don't. Nobody wants to talk about Hillary Clinton anymore in either side.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Hillary does.
Yeah, Hillary
Well,
does. I agree.
that's because she's a selfish C word.
Now I'm wondering, since her security clearance since it's been withdrawn or revoked, is the hammer finally going to come down on her? God, I hope so. Lock her up.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
And then we had what's his face? Eric Holder.
Oh yeah.
Come out of the woodwork.
Who would have? What a turnaround he's done in 20 years.
He's always been like that. That wouldn't surprise me.
Well,
But
no,
yeah, go ahead.
Eric
Henry.
Holder comes out of the woodwork, and he says that you know how Michelle always said when they go low, we go high. He said, well, if they go low, we kick them in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
And Hillary Clinton said that about civil unrest. There won't be any civil unrest until we get in power. Yeah, that's basically what she said.
Yeah, they're both advocating for violence.
Yeah, it's the whole mob mentality of the left. You know,
If a Republican or conservative had said that, they would have been all over the news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, speaking of protests and everything, it's been reported that the Trump administration is proposing to overhaul rules for protesters in front of the White House and other iconic locations in Washington, D.C. Yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, you know, I'm all for free speech and I'm all for protesting, but do it civilly. Don't, you know, burn cars up. Don't tear down buildings. Don't tear down whatever you want to tear down. Don't block the roads.
Make it harsh punishments
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
They should. That way, it'll help stop those Antifa people because there's nobody holding them accountable.
Yeah. And then
a couple of them get arrested, and then the other 50 just are there taunting and spitting and doing whatever they want.
And to piggyback on that, what they need to do is make a law saying that you cannot have your face covered while protesting.
That's what
Right.
I agree. That's what, because I was taught, I don't know, anyway, if you're not welding or skiing or
Mhm.
spraying hazardous chemicals, you know, or trick or treating, there is no need for your face to be covered.
Yeah.
If you're walking through a blizzard or, you know, if you've got to hide your face, that means
Mhm.
you don't want anybody to know who you are, and that is a sure sign you are up to bad crap.
Mhm.
I keep wanting to say your grandmama would snatch that thing off of you and beat your ass, or if my mama caught me doing, but there's mamas out there who apparently don't.
Mhm.
You know, if you've got to wear a mask and you're not robbing a bank or, like I say, welding or snow skiing, there's just no reason to cover your face.
Mhm.
That tells everybody up front that you are up to no good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I got.
And they should be arrested. Have you seen on Facebook here lately? There's been several different things of Antifa
Mhm.
mug shots,
Mhm.
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, I'm
Mhm.
so glad uh, for that.
Mhm.
I think Antifa needs to. There needs to be an investigation into Antifa.
Yeah,
Yes, me.
absolutely. I completely agree. They need to be. Antifa should be labeled a domestic terrorist organization.
Find out who is. Find
Trump
out who's.
domestic terrorist, didn't he?
Who?
Antifa. Trump.
He's talked about Antifa, but he hasn't talked about a label them as a terrorist organization or anything like that.
I thought that he did. Maybe I'm wrong.
He
I'm
may
I,
have. I'm not
I'm
sure.
I'm apt to be wrong too. But anyway, they need to
Th-
be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They need to
Well,
be an anti. There needs to be an anti-Antifa group.
Yeah,
Can you imagine if we had a bunch of conservatives out there like them with
Mhm.
the exact, that doesn't make us any better. I'm just saying, this
Yeah.
is just hypothetical, you know, that
Uh,
if we had a bunch of people covered up, you
yeah.
know, not all these scrawny little
mhm.
punks, but our big
well,
ass dudes out there, they would be so scared there wouldn't be any more Antifa.
I was
Can
gonna
they-
say they better not go to a state that has carry conceal.
oh yeah, I think that's what's keeping West Virginia safe because we got carry concealed. But what was that about
Mississippi.
funding Antifa, Henry? You said find out who funds Antifa.
Yeah, find out who funds them. Most likely, it's
It's
probably Soros,
Soros.
but
Soros is
whoever
number
that.
one. Soros is
Yeah,
at the top. I mean, he's funding all these radical leftist groups.
yeah.
Let's see here. I got.
To kind of to kind of steer away from that, apparently Colin Kaepernick has earned a prestigious award from Harvard University.
Oh, that's
God,
what I think.
Oh, thanks, Henry, for shit we don't care about and shit we don't care about news. Oh, and other shit we don't care about news. The AMAs was this week, surprisingly, and the good old Taylor Swift headlined it, and it was the lowest rated
I did.
AMAs. Lowest rated AMAs.
Yeah, I heard that she won a bunch of awards though.
I did.
That's why she came out as a Democrat. The AMAs was coming, and she
I
wanted to
didn't
win some
watch it.
awards.
I didn't watch it
No,
either.
I didn't watch it either.
Yeah, she.
And she wanted to hang out with Tim McGraw.
Huh. Well, the AMA, all these
Everything went
awards,
quiet.
all these award shows anymore are nothing more than opportunities for leftists to pat themselves on the back and have be self-congratulatory.
Bullshit.
Yeah, just one big circle jerk.
Yeah, look how great we are. And Trump sucks. F Trump.
Yeah.
You know, that's all they do at these award shows anymore. These award ceremonies.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Speaking
Well,
of Trump,
I love the AMA. I love country music. But I don't give a shit about their awards either. Go ahead, Shane. Were you talking?
Well, go ahead, Henry, if you want to jump in real quick.
The AMAs is really not country. The AMAs is not really country. They're, you know.
Yeah.
They give awards out.
American music, not the CMTs.
Especially like the VMAs.
VMAs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see how long it's been since I watched it?
Yeah, I hated award shows. I never really got the appeal of award shows. Yeah, I never watch award shows.
I used to watch all of them. All of the award shows. I love to watch them. And they were great. They had great entertainment, great presence, the singers or the shows that they had in between and everything. I loved them. And it has only been like in the last 10 years maybe that they've gone to pot, gone political, and I don't give a crap about their political stance, and they think they've got this big stage to do it, but what they've got is a bunch of people, young people, who worship them, and they can conform their minds before they've learned anything. You know, it's just very sad to me that has to happen in that type of thing, you know. I mean, the whole Kaepernick thing, that's stupid. He wants to have a voice and say what he wants to say. That's fine. Do it. But don't do it at work. You know, once he get to that stadium, you're at work. That is no place to be. You do your job. You don't go and put your mind out there for your cause. Your cause can be before and after work, but when he's at work, he should be at work, because we pay a lot of money to go see football in the games, and I don't want to, have a whole all that rhetoric, everything going on about that, let's kneeling and everything.
Do this in like layman's terms. You don't want your plumber to come in and preach to you about politics. No. You don't want your cable guy coming in and saying, well, you need to start doing this and this and this. I mean, it's the exact same thing with the NFL and Hollywood. You don't want those people preaching to you about their politics.
No, I want them to stick to what they're good at, and that's acting.
Yeah.
I still love those actors, but they make me want to hate them. But I don't. I love the movies. I love going to the movies. And I don't want to stop going to the movies because, somebody said something about fuck Trump or this or that. I don't want to have to stop or not like them because of that.
Sometimes, sometimes to me, it's so 2 or 3 specific actors or actresses can get out and get up and say so much that is just wrong to me, and I think, oh my God, how can I like you or support you in any way when that's how you feel? And there's not that many, but there are some. And like that that dude on no, King of Queens.
Kevin
That
James.
little Spencer dude, and now I don't know if it's true. I hope it's not. But came out that no, not Kevin James. Pat Oswald came out and said he was a pedophile. For years, I love Kevin James. I love Leah Remini. Blah blah blah. But I can't stomach to look at him. To Pat Oswald. And
another example.
Oh my God.
Another example is
stand up in front of God and your family in America and say I'm a pedophile. It's disgusting. What were you gonna say? Another?
Yeah, another example is Jamie Lee Curtis. You know, I love the Halloween movies, and the new Halloween movie that's coming out in a couple of days, the next week. You know, it's like I want to go and see it, but I'm afraid that there's going to be a political message in there somewhere. You know, because it's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it, and it's like I don't want your politics mixed in with my fun at the movies.
I never liked Lee. I've never cared for her. There was just something. I don't hate her or anything, but it was just something. Anything she was ever in, it was just something I felt about her that I just bugs me. It just bugs me somehow. And I'm sure she's a great person. I don't know, but yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is not that she's done anything, but yeah, she's big too. Liberal.
All right,
and so Cher don't care to watch Cher at all.
Oh Lord, I hate Cher. I cannot stand Cher. Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, Laura Ingraham said it best: "Shut up and sing."
Yeah, shut up and dribble too. And then we need like something for the NFL. Shut up and tackle.
Oh, I like Laura.
Yeah. I got two more things and plus local news.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Trump accomplished 289 things in just 20 months. So yeah, and there's a list of the things that Trump accomplished, from economic growth to jobs to American income, American optimism, American business, deregulation, tax cuts, worker development, domestic infrastructure, healthcare, combating opioids, law and order, border security and immigration. The list just keeps growing and growing and growing. So yeah, 289 accomplishments in just 20 months.
If you list all the accomplishments he's made, Shane will be here until Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll post the link in the description below, and you guys can read it. The next thing I want to touch on is that according to Frostbites.com, that global internet outage over the next 48 hours could affect some users, according to ICANN. ICANN has scheduled a root zone key signing key, or an KSK, rollover for today, and it could affect some DNS users all over the world. By rolling the KSK, ICANN implies that the new cryptographic public and private key pair will be generated, and the private key would be distributed to internet service providers, enterprise network administrators, and domain name system, or DNS resolver operators. The maintenance work could affect some internet users over the next 48 hours. So if there's some problems with the internet, that might be the reason why. And I'll post the link in the description below for you guys to read more about it. Let's get into some local news. Henry, you got any local news for us?
Let's see here. Well, I know that fall has officially arrived here in Mississippi.
It has today, too.
We hit highs in the mid-70s yesterday, and I guess they must have gotten up into probably about 70 today. I was supposed to warm up a little bit tomorrow and Sunday, but then it's going to drop. The high on Tuesday here is only going to be about 57 degrees. That's just the high. So and it's supposed to rain too. So it's going to be a nasty
Wow.
day.
We've been raining all day today. Raining all
Today,
day.
today,
Oh, here's something.
today's the first day I considered that it maybe cut off the air conditioners.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I've still
yeah.
got air conditioners on.
Well, anyway, I think it was last week I mentioned that our Attorney General is running for a governor. Yeah, he's going to be running for governor next year. That's Jim Hood. Well, he is calling on the FCC to combat robocalls. You know, we've all gotten them. We've all, like, in the middle of supper, all of a sudden the phone rings. It's a freaking telemarketer. Oh, I hate that. Absolutely hate that.
Hello.
Well, anyway.
Your insurance has been canceled. Press 1 to continue.
Yeah. Scam calls have continued to pop up on phones in Mississippi and Mississippi and across the country. Attorney General Jim Hood has now joined a bipartisan coalition of 34 attorneys general calling on the Federal Communications Commission to create new rules allowing service providers to block more of the illegal robocalls that are made to unsuspecting customers. The formal comment to the FCC follows comments previously made by Hood to the FCC regarding the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, and explains that scammers using illegal robocalls have found ways to evade a call blocking order entered last year by the FCC. The FCC's 2017 order granted phone service providers authority to block certain illegal spoofed robocalls, and was a bipartisan victory for American consumers. Despite the FCC's order, robocalls continue to be a major irritant to consumers and businesses across the country. In 2017, the Federal Trade Commission received 4.5 million illegal robocall complaints, 2.5 times more than in 2014. The Mississippi Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division received nearly 2,000 reports in fiscal year 2018 with respect to scam phone calls and 405 since July 1st. Therefore, the attorneys general now seek broader authority for the providers to work together to detect and block more illegal spoofed robocalls, including neighbor spoofing. These calls aren't just an annoyance, they are a safety concern, General Hood said. Our office often receives complaints regarding scam calls, many involving someone, especially the elderly, sending money to the scammer on the other end of the phone.
Yeah.
The caller's message is more believable when it is coming from a number the consumer recognizes. Spoofing allows scammers to disguise their identities, making it difficult for law enforcement to bring them to justice. Virtually anyone can send millions of illegal robocalls and frustrate law enforcement with just a computer, inexpensive software, and an internet connection, the Attorney General wrote in the formal comment filed with the FCC. Neighbor spoofing is a technique that allows calls, no matter where they originate, to appear on a consumer's caller ID as being made from a phone number that has the same local area code as the consumer. This manipulation of caller ID information increases the likelihood that the consumer will answer the call. In the formal comment, the attorneys general also expressed support for a new initiative referred to by the acronym STIR/SHAKEN, which will give phone service providers the ability to authenticate and certify legitimate calls and identify illegally spoofed calls, even those coming from what are otherwise legitimate phone numbers. Service providers will be ready to launch this new authentication method in 2019. To date, the FCC has not issued a notice of proposed rulemaking concerning additional provider-initiated call blocking. The attorneys general anticipate that further requests for comments will take place on this subject. The current comments concern illegal robocalls, which are made to consumers regardless of whether or not they sign up for the do not call lists. This summer, General Hood partnered with the Mississippi Public Service Commission to issue 2 consumer guides with information regarding robocalls for both mobile and landlines. The information guides consumers through their options on both the state and national level in registering for do not call lists and reporting violations of these lists. The guides, which can be downloaded for free, and there's a link, you can download the guides, also include information on resources from mobile apps, phone carriers, and cloud-based services, and built-in features on mobile phones. Now, I can say I have signed up my personal cell phone number and other numbers on these national call lists, but they still apparently some of these individuals are still able to get through. I mean, sometimes I get calls from our local area code that I don't recognize. I just don't answer.
Yeah, I've been getting calls too like that. And, I always listen to the message. And then after the message, they say, like, press 2 to take your number off of this. I always press 2. But they still keep calling and calling and calling.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
And then a funny story happened a couple of weeks ago. And it might have been dealing with this whole spoofing thing. I got this call from this woman. She said, I answered the phone. I said, hello. And she said, did you call me? I got a number from this. I got a call from this number. I said, no, I didn't call you. I know the people that I call. I definitely did not call her. So I wonder if my number was spoof or something.
Yeah. I've had that problem. I've had where people say, I've had that happen with me. Somebody called me and said, you call me? I say, no. So that it does happen from time to time. Sometimes somebody gets a call supposedly from you, and turns out you're like, yeah, I didn't call you. So
I'm always getting hit by those guys. Always. Real bad too. One of them was out of South Carolina because I looked at the number.
Wow. Go ahead, Delil.
I use the do not call list about every year or so, or 9 months or something. I'll just type the number back in, and it helps a lot, but it doesn't take care of everything. You still get them.
Yeah.
I was getting calls every 10 minutes one time.
Wow.
One day I was getting them right after another, and I finally did what that girl on YouTube did, is that when he came on, I go, oh, hold on a second. Hold on, I have to record you because the FBI told me to record you this time. And click, he hung up on me. So I started doing that to everyone.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys use the app, but I got the app Mr. Number, and it tells you if it's a spam call or a fraud call, and it's like a caller ID for your phone.
I have free. One on my phone, and they still got through.
I'm gonna have to. Mr.
Check
Phone,
it out.
okay.
Mr. Number.
Mr. Number.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored by Mr. Number, but
I'm sure you all.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna have to install that on my phone.
Send it to.
Yeah, it's if you got Google, if it's in the Google Play Store, Mr. Number, look it up. If it's Android, if you got an Android phone, it's Mr. Number in the Google Play Store.
Right, Mr. Number.
If you got an Apple iPhone, just go into the Apple App Store and just type in Mr. Number, and it should be for both Apple and Android.
Look, here's my proof. See all that? Oh, wait a minute. Where's my... Can you see all those red?
Wow.
That was in one. That was in one right after another. All those were spam. Because once you put it in as spam, they keep on. They called me. All those reds are spam.
Wow.
Wow.
And it just keeps stop. They hit my phone big time. But look, there's another series of 3 in a row
Wow.
to me, and I kept telling them after a while. But then it turns out that there was a big, huge ring, and they were all East Indian on the other end. But the calls were coming out of some big warehouse in North Carolina, South Carolina, I can't remember. But they caught them all. They caught them. And then all the phone calls stopped.
Oh, you mean they talk like this?
Good.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello,
they
we are
did.
from the
I
IRS.
couldn't understand half of the
Apu from
call.
The Simpsons. Hello, we are from the IRS. We're here to collect your back taxes.
But
on theirs, they
remember,
wanted.
Oh, Nikki, you froze up. Oh, go ahead, Lyle.
who's talking?
Nikki was talking.
Yeah, she froze up on us.
Remember the thing where they called and said, "Can you hear me?" And when you said yes, they recorded it and added it into something to get your credit.
Oh,
They
I
would
didn't hear about
record.
that.
They say, "Can you hear me?" And you say yes, and they recorded that yes. And then put your information in and put your voice saying yes. That came through not long ago, and it probably somebody is still out there doing it. So if they say, "Can I hear you? Can you hear me?" Hang up. Unless you know it's your, grandma in Seattle or something, hang up.
Yeah, one thing
You
they will
got to
do
be
is
careful, man.
One thing they will do is they will spoof your number, or they'll try and spoof your number, and then they'll call you and they'll say, "Hey, so
Yeah.
and so, they'll say, hello, this is so and so, and this is such and such, and we have this offer for you, or would you like to?" So a lot of the time you get calls from these people who are offering you, you can get this will help with your credit card debt and all this stuff.
Yeah. I actually got one today about student loan debt.
Well, there you go.
Oh, have you guys got the one about the air horn siren? It goes bong, and then it says you want a free cruise. Oh my god, I got that one. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. My phone rang.
No,
I answered. I said hello, and then that air horn just blasted out the phone. I was like, "What the heck was that?" Go ahead, Lyle.
My cousin was here the other week talking about student loan debt. That they keep getting calls for student loan debt, and they don't have any student loan debt. And in fact, I told a fellow one time,
No, Lyle, you muted yourself.
The problem is they have gone spoofing. They've gone from sending emails, from sending spam emails, now sending spam phone calls.
Yeah. Yeah, and the main people in effect, like you said, Henry, is the elderly who don't know any better. You get a phone call and say, "Hey, your credit card has been maxed out. You better send us some money, or we're going to punch your ass to prison." They get scared and nervous, and they decide, "Oh God, I got to do this. I got to do this so that I won't go to jail."
Yeah.
Right.
Welcome back, Nikki.
Hey, Nikki.
Sorry, I had to get on through my phone. My tablet's not working in this weather.
That's all right. This my local news is really, really interesting. I don't know if you guys heard of this, but back in August, our West Virginia lawmakers went on to impeach our entire Supreme Court. So basically, the reason why they was impeached is because of fraud.
Can you hear?
I can hear you, Lyle. Oh, I heard Lyle, but then she gone.
Okay.
All right, we
Okay.
can hear you.
I'm good now. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So yeah. Our entire
Okay,
Supreme Court
okay.
was impeached.
Got
We had 4 judges. All of them were impeached. Usually there's 5, but the 5th one resigned. He pleaded guilty. The 5th one was Menace Ketchum. Resigned in July. He was accused of federal wire fraud. He pleaded guilty to a felony charge of defrauding the state and faces up to 20 years in prison. But this local news is basically more on the Supreme Court. West Virginia Supreme Court Justice Lowry found guilty on 11 out of 22 charges. West Virginia Supreme Court Justice Alan Lowry has been found guilty in federal court. He was found guilty on 11 charges, not guilty on 10. The jury was hung on 1 count. These charges stem from an investigation into lavish Supreme Court spending, including more than $300,000 worth of renovations to his office. He used state-owned furniture for a home office. He's used personal use of state vehicles and gas purchasing cards and lying to federal officials. The jury began Wednesday, October 10th, and ran through today of October 12th. The jury, made up with 10 women and 2 men, saw lots of evidence and heard lots of testimonies throughout the trial, and ultimately they decided that it was enough to find him guilty on all 11 charges. Wow.
Okay.
So basically what our Supreme Court did was fraud. A whole bunch of fraud in the Supreme Court.
Man. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
This is on Fox News.
I think I missed part of it.
This is from Fox News. He was reportedly suspended for allegedly repeating a line about about using his office for personal gain. He pleaded not guilty in federal court in June. His trial began early October. If he's convicted, he faces up to 395 years in prison and $5.5 million in fines.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He's screwed.
Wow. For
For fraud.
what are the charges?
Fraud. Basically,
Well, you may have to go out.
Okay.
He used
And
state money for his advantage. All 5 justices on our Supreme Court did. That's the main reason why all of them were impeached earlier this year, earlier in the month of August.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Lel, you have any local news?
Left leaning, would they?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure about their political leanings.
Hey, crooks are crooks no matter what political
Yeah.
stripe they are.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
My local news is that Hurricane Michael has swiped us, and thank goodness, because Florence tore up everything bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
There was some flooding at the beach in the low-lying areas, and there was some damage and a couple of deaths. And as it went by, but all in all, it could be a lot worse. And thank you, Lord, for keeping us all safe. And that's my local news.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Nikki, you got anything for us?
Yeah, tomorrow I get to go to the Ted
You're
Cruz
gonna
uh,
you're gonna.
dilly. I get
Oh
to
yeah.
yeah, I
You don't
get
get
to my husband got us tickets at the base, so
Nice.
I'm probably gonna try to do a Facebook live
Oh yeah, absolutely.
from
Now, is
there.
that the one Trump's going to speak at?
Oh
Or is it
cool.
just
No, no,
Please do if you
Trump.
can.
It would be awesome if he did a last minute thing, but I don't think he will. I think it's not slated, and I don't think they would put it because it's this one's going to be held at a high school here in
okay?
town, so it wouldn't be big enough to hold a capacity, crowd.
Because there was talk about Trump going to Texas and doing a
Yeah.
rally for Ted Cruz.
Well, that would be awesome if we had tickets already, and that would conspire. So
Yeah, definitely. And keep a watch out on the crowd and see how many people showed up. Because crowd
Nick-
size can tell you if he's going to win.
oh man, that's the only thing I'm dreading. At least
Yeah.
it's on my side of town.
Yeah.
So I mean, where it's gonna be at is like 10 minutes from where I live.
Mhm.
So well, 15. And so it'll be okay, and we won't have to worry about anybody or anything, just
Mhm.
us. So
Oh, something that I wanted to bring
Well,
up.
be safe. And I'm so tickled.
yeah, it's gonna be
Oh,
fun.
yeah. Something I wanted to
I'm
bring up
tickled.
was
Go ahead,
something
Henry.
I wanted to bring up was the this song that's been released by this I never even heard of this woman, Lindsay Lab Stewart or something like that. It's called "Scary Time for Boys," and
What?
basically the song is about believing the
Oh,
victims, and it's kind of a parody song. And a lot of leftists love
not
it and
believing
everything
the
like that.
boys.
Yeah,
Well,
Henry, you going to sing it
boys
to
are
us?
boys. I
what's
admit
that, Shane?
You gonna sing it to us, Henry?
that they're not
No.
all.
Essentially, the lyrics are
And
bashing
I have a 15-year-old son. I have a 15-year-old son, and I am trying my best to instill some Southern gentlemanly
Mhm.
uh, things in him. But you worry, because girls lie,
Mhm.
boys lie.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I was
boys go and
yeah.
tell their friends they did it when and girls go and tell their friends they did it when they didn't. And you
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
never know. Even if they're both decent kids, you just never know. And I'm scared, the next 5 or 10 years, I just,
Yeah.
about what could be blamed on him.
Mhm.
Mhm. What I was going to say is that
So
essentially
anyway, limitations.
what I was going to say is that the song is basically bashing Kavanaugh and saying that
Oh,
this is it's a scary time for men because be careful because the women must be believed, and the victims must be believed. It's essentially kind of taking the side of the victims, the supposed
Mhm.
victims. So that's basically what the song is about.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. I think we covered every main point that
Yeah,
happened this week.
Yeah.
Woo, all right.
But,
So yeah, next week is going to be another Not Mainstream, and Lord only knows what's going to happen between now and next week. If you can't wait until next week, me and Henry is going to do the webcasting Solve Good Deadcast tomorrow night. We're going to talk about the season premiere of The Walking Dead and the season finale of Better Call Saul, which was really good. I got to say, Better Call Saul inched it out. And The Walking Dead's all right. It was all right. I could take it or leave it. It was good. It was a good episode. It was a good episode.
I've seen some. Not whole clips, but picture clips of The Walking Dead. Seen some another group of friends that I grew up with here liking it. I might take it up and watch some episodes and see what I think.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good show. Like if you like that genre.
So where's the? Well, I didn't know. I did and I didn't know. Some of these intriguing and the best place Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Or where's the best?
Yeah, if you got Netflix, I think all 8 seasons. All 8 seasons.
I can go watch it.
Yeah, all 8 seasons on Netflix.
there you go.
Okay, well, I got rid of Netflix when they what was it they did that pissed me off? Anyway, and I had seen about everything on there. And maybe I'll get it again. I think I might just watch a few shows and see what I think.
All right. But yeah, we're gonna be
okay. That's all I have. I was just.
That's all right.
Watching.
Walking Dead and Better Call Saul tomorrow night on the other channel, Breaking Badcast. And then Wednesday night on Looking for Bigfoot channel is going to be another Real or Not Real, and we're going to discuss some videos and photos and whatever we're going to talk about. And then, so I think that's going to do it for us tonight. God bless America. God bless President Donald Trump. Good night, everybody. Oh, and God bless Kanye West. Got him in there. Good night, everybody.